you good?
Yes, I'm good.
Ready to start?
Yes, I'm ready to start.
Okay, well. Welcome to the first episode of first.
Oh fuck! What is wrong with you?
Welcome to the fifth episode of Rated R for Relatives.
Hi.
Our energy's really off today.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're tired a little bit. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
yeah, this a little tired.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's honestly been a very long week for me personally, not in like a bad way, but in the sense of like feeling very like exhausted.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's like just ending the month. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Usually happens to me at the like towards the end of the month. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I know. I'm
I
like,
start feeling a little lethargic. I guess that leads into our first
yeah,
segment of relate to this rant.
yeah.
Go ahead, Marcus. It's your turn to go first.
Oh yeah, huh? Well, I mean, honestly, there's like a few things. I guess like you know what like thought like occurred to me like earlier, and it was like why do certain types of people unrelenting sort of I guess pattern of just being prideful would be
Hmm.
like the word.
What do you mean?
Like when certain scenarios go on.
Say an example. You don't gotta say names.
Well, yeah, well, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I know. Honestly, well, because it's like this wasn't even like a thing to me. It's like in relationships, really, like because that's why I guess that's why certain types of people are together because they can obviously fill out certain gaps
Hmm.
when one person's not going to be as apologetic the other person is, you know what I mean, like
Right, I get what you mean.
things like that. Genuinely, I have only, and this is to me, this is saying a lot
Hmm.
because this is considering every situationship, every like relationship, every little talking stage. Hell, every girl that I've gone on even one date with,
Right.
I've only felt oh so frustrated with one. But here's the thing: is part of wanting to, in my opinion, or part of even having a sustainable connection in general comes with having someone that has a personality type that matches you.
I kind of get what you're saying because in the sense of like Jose and we are the same but also very different.
Right,
In terms of how he reacts to things,
right,
how
exactly.
and I hate when people like to say, oh, it's because one's emotionally more mature. No, everybody regulates their emotions very differently.
Right.
Having emotion regulation is what's important. Like
And
one can have emotion regulation and one can't, and that's what clashes when it comes to any interpersonal
right.
relationships.
And here's the thing is because I can deal with emotional like bad emotional regulation. That's
Hmm.
fine because at least with bad emotional regulation, most people can at the very least communicate that
Right.
they are feeling a certain way.
Correct.
Whether that be one way or another, you can at least tell me how you're feeling.
Hmm.
Whether that be you screaming it at me or not, or like whatever,
Hmm.
you can at least tell me how you're feeling. And even sometimes, even when you're mad, it doesn't even have to be in like an antagonistic or like attacking way, like of just
Right.
like you are doing this thing and it's setting me off right now. Like,
Correct.
and the other person, even myself, should feel able to comfortably receive that
Hmm.
and be like, okay, I can adjust from here, knowing that when I do that, you're going to be at least a little bit happier. It's going to satisfy you a bit. You know what I mean? Like it's going to make you happy
Right.
in some ways because I'm doing what you're asking of me in this moment that you need from me.
Like you're acknowledging their frustration, you're
Right.
acknowledging their emotions in general.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. But instead, I had gotten met with what, to me at least, felt like a consistent pattern of, okay, now this is wrong too. Okay,
Like
now this
deflection.
kind of I will never forget this instance of we had literally resolved one issue,
Hmm.
and then I not even joking with you. The very next text
Hmm.
was, "Why haven't you complimented me lately?"
Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh,
No, no, you can't.
but like, no, I'm not laughing at that. I'm more of like, damn, I kind of do that. Like, hold on.
Okay, explain. Yeah, no. Tell me a little bit of like,
So, like for example, me and Jose.
right,
I get into an argument with Jose because he didn't take the trash out when I asked him to.
Right.
And it bleeds into, "You never do anything that I ask you to do,
Right.
even though I ask you politely. I don't
Right.
ask much of you. All I ask is for you to take out the trash, do the
Okay, but that's
dishes."
a
It
snowball of a
it's a
conversation.
exactly, no, but it snowballs into this, okay? And then let's say Jose is like, "Okay, I will do more. I'm sorry. I've just been feeling very lazy lately. I've been sick or
Right,
whatever." Do
right,
you get what
right.
I mean? Whatever
Okay.
excuse of why he's doing that way. Or not
Okay.
excuse, but the reasoning, right?
Right.
That issue's closed,
Okay.
resolved. Great. Let's hope we don't have to revisit that again in the future.
Okay.
Now, then sometimes, and I can admit I have this habit of like thinking I'm still pissed off, because let's say Jose can apologize to me, I still have a little bit of attitude left over. and
Okay,
and I'm not
right.
and it's sometimes I start to spark up another argument. And it's not healthy to do that because sometimes I do tend to look at him and be like, why don't you compliment me more, for example?
Okay.
And then it's like, as a man, he's confused. He's like, where the hell did that
Okay,
come
wait, wait,
from?
wait, hold on. But right, and here's the thing. Even that, all of what you're saying, completely normal too,
Mhm.
because like it happened. You're with someone
Mhm.
for a long
Oh,
time,
I get what you mean. This is like a
and
longevity issue.
part more. It's because here's the thing. This issue came up
Mhm.
not even like a month and a half, 2 months in.
Mm.
That's not okay. To me, because here's the thing, when you're in that stage of a relationship, you are getting used to
Correct.
each other's personalities, to
Yes.
each other's person. There is a way, everyone knows this. There's rules to getting to know, especially this intimately. There's rules. Like when there's things that are bothering you, like there's that nice way everyone puts it, like, hey, like
Mhm.
like the questioning of like, oh, why do you do that? Like trying to be all
Mhm.
nice and like whatever,
Mhm.
and then that's because you try to understand it.
Yeah, you
And,
try to understand
like
why they do the things that they do.
exactly, that might tick you off, or that might like
Mhm.
give you the ick, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But you know what I mean? Like you ask, you know what I mean? There's a way that people go about this.
Right.
It's how dating is.
Correct.
Versus we're 2 months in, and you're texting me, and again, we had just had like a little, very little misunderstanding, mind you,
Uh-huh.
of a spat, and then you go, so why don't you compliment me? Why don't you compliment me more? What? What are you talking about? I compliment you at least like every day, at least once a day.
I
Like
think it's I think now you're coming from a place because if I told Jose I wish you compliment me more, Jose would actually sit and think, "Wow, I haven't complimented her
right.
recently. Like
Okay.
when was the last time I did?"
Right.
But you're coming from a place of like, "But I have. I
Right.
know for sure I have. I have
Exactly.
text messages to prove that I
No,
have."
that's what I no, like that's what I'm saying. Like, and here's my thing with that, especially too, and especially this early on.
Mhm.
If you're telling me, if you're asking these things out of me, I hate when people think like, oh, I can make a person do things that they haven't done before, that they're not used to doing. Don't ever set yourself up for that failure. That's
Yeah.
stupid as hell.
Yeah, because there's
Like,
that saying where it's like you're not asking too much, you're asking the wrong person. And I
exactly.
think you're at a place
Like,
where it's like, then I'm that wrong
exactly,
person.
I'm the wrong person, and I shouldn't be made out to be the bad guy for that, even though I'm being completely honest and pretty upfront about it.
Right.
And but here's the thing, and not to say I'm not romantic. Anyone who knows me,
Yeah.
anyone in the world who knows me knows that I love so hard.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a month or 2 month period that I've been seeing you, and I'm just like, you know what? I just really don't think we're matching together. I don't think that should be met with some sort of like, "Oh, what can I do? How can I change?" It's just like, no, like that's not like
We're
you're not
just not
hearing
meant
me.
to
Like
be.
exactly. Like and people who don't understand the difference
Mhm.
between I can change and do all these things for you and being genuinely compatible with someone,
Mhm.
you have not experienced real connection.
Yeah, because I feel like at that point you're trying to be someone that you're not to
Exactly.
cater to this person.
And if you've spent your life, your relationships doing that all the time,
Mhm.
you have not experienced real connection.
Yeah. I feel like what it comes down to too is expectations. Like it's literally circling back to what you said earlier. The idea of someone that you have in your head of like, oh, like if he doesn't do this, I'll just tell him and he'll do it.
Right.
You get what I mean? And it's like that's not how it
That's
works.
insane.
You
Don't
can
do
sit
it.
here and have this conversation with that person like, yeah, these are my love languages. This is my expectations out of a relationship. If they don't match that other person's, leave.
Here, and I want to preface all this too by saying, like, this is at the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah, I
Not
have
like
to
we're
remember
not
that this is like a 2-month
right.
thing.
And even then, like we're not talking about people having problems later in relationships or
Mhm.
even like 6 months in.
Right.
I would understand more of this.
Mhm.
This is less than a fourth of a year with a person. Think
Right.
about that.
Right.
A fourth of a year.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's not even a school semester. I'm sorry, but being met with this kind of behavior isn't really okay. And
I think what's going on here though too is I feel like you were at I've been this girl a lot and I so badly want to shake her and tell her like just find somebody else. You're wasting your time. And
right.
that's no offense to you.
Well, no, yeah, and it's not. I don't
But
take it as it. Like,
I I just for all of my women out there, my young women that are trying or that are dating right now and are finding themselves dating someone that's like Marcus.
or
um
that just you don't, or that you keep on trying to push an expectation on.
yeah,
Like,
it's not going to work.
I want every single person that I have been in a relationship with, or to be in a relationship with, to make sure that they are safe, feel comfortable. That's one of the easiest things that has ever come to me.
And I think right now that's your frustration. I do X, Y, and Z already, and you want more
That's what I'm
because it
saying.
makes you in a place where it's like, am I not enough?
It right. It has made me question of like, am I not enough?
Mhm.
And have I been doing things wrong all the time? Am I half-assing things? Like, I was really stuck in questioning for a second of like, am I doing the wrong thing?
It sounds like what this girl that you're talking to wants is a man to be obsessed with her. And I'm talking like unhealthily obsessed.
Right.
Like foaming at the mouth. You know what I mean? And
Like, oh, if anyone touches her, I'll like freaking
yeah,
break your
and
like. And
that's
I'm like,
not
dude,
okay.
that's not okay.
That's
That's
not
not me. That's
healthy.
not
Yeah. And
healthy.
that
Like,
isn't you, dude. That just
mm-mm.
isn't
I'm
you.
sorry. I've
So
never been the toxic masculine dude. I'm sorry. I haven't.
and that's don't apologize for
Like, I
that.
like, well, because some people do like that, and that's
Yeah, some
fine.
people
But like,
do. I personally don't like
mm,
Jose. He's very gentle.
right,
Like he will of course defend me if
right,
need
because
be,
that's what
because it's just also male instinct, you
right,
know? When it comes to that, I have confidence in Jose that he is going to protect me. Do I want him, like, if we're at a bar and a man comes up to me and hits on me thinking that I'm single, do I want my boyfriend to start fights at a bar for
right.
that?
Like, you want me to
No.
make a scene? You want me to be like this freaking like, you like, what is that? Like,
I that's not attractive to me personally. And if you think that is attractive, I think you have some growing up to do. I'm sorry.
no, yeah,
Because I don't. I think if you want that, because you want someone that's like that, but when they're like that towards you behind closed doors, it's a problem.
right.
This man has shown you who
That
he
they're like a
is.
easily
Can be
violent
violent.
person.
Yes.
Like,
That's not okay at all, period.
there's that. But that was my rant, and in some, please, if you're man, woman, non-identified, whatever, don't do not put expectations on another person for a relationship, for any sort of relationship,
Yeah.
unless they are your goddamn parents or siblings, because those are the only people who owe you any sort of change, is your family. That's about it.
Yeah.
And even then there's limits to that, of
Mhm.
course, because people are still people.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
People
what
are
I'm
who they
saying?
are.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but then if it's that bad to you, then yes, cut ties and move on and do yourself
Yeah.
the favor. Just don't do that to a person, because you are hurting yourself and you're hurting them. And not even that, you're also giving them all the power.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh my gosh, yes, you're
Like
so right.
like why would you do that?
please, you will lose yourself to somebody else, and that is something you don't ever
Mhm.
want to do. Don't lose yourself to other people because
Yeah.
of these expectations that you want them to have.
Mhm.
Because it's like I said, you're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong
Wrong
person.
person.
So,
So what happened with you?
well,
What's going on with you?
honestly, it has been a good week. Nothing in my personal life, I want to say, kind of.
Right.
But there is a topic that popped up on my timeline that I do want to touch on because I can relate to it very hard, and maybe somebody else could too.
Yeah.
I have this thing, and it's become one of my social pet peeves of I hate when we're like hanging out in a group setting. I don't like when other people judge other people for the way they act under the influence. And hold on. I'm not saying like if you're being a shitty person because you are
Right.
drunk or because you're on drugs or whatever, that's different.
Or like acting like belligerent or
Or
like
being just
something. Yeah.
obnoxious
Right.
or just stupid. I can't stand when like I'm drunk, right? And let me just give you guys a little peek on drunk Ariana, okay? Because drunk Ariana is a good time, okay? When I'm having a good time and I'm on a high, like I'm drunk or whatever, and I'm just having like I want to love everybody. Like I
Right.
want everybody to love each other. Like
Right.
please let's stop fighting, you guys. Like let's just have a good time, whatever. I'm
Right.
very much on that wave of like let's everybody have a good time. Who cares if someone give you a dirty look across the bar? Who just let's move on. Let's
Right.
move on. Let's dance. Let's have fun. Who cares? Or I'm very like, I think everything's funny. Like I think like you can just be staring at me and I think it's hilarious,
Right.
but I'm having a good time. Would you rather me doing that or would you rather have me fight and be angry
No,
and
literally,
you know
I'm
what I
like, you
mean?
rather me start calling people out? Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly, because listen, I can take it there, but I
Right,
don't.
right, right.
I mean, I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain it, but like I can't stand this thing of like, why can't I be drunk in peace?
right,
Can you let me be drunk in peace to why I don't indulge in weed is
right,
because the times that I did, if I was laughing too much, like people would be like, "Shut up. Oh my god, you're being too loud," or just relax, just chill. Like that makes me so mad cuz I am relaxed. I'm having a good time. What do you want me to do? Just stand in the corner not say anything? And sometimes when I am drunk and I feel a little overstimulated,
right.
I do go mute. I do go quiet. And then it's like, "Oh my god, you're being so quiet and awkward." Like, I can't win.
See, this is real, and I felt this literally 2 days ago. And don't get me wrong, obviously, I love my friends to
Uh-huh.
death. I went into the car, and it's not like I was like hanging frown or like whatever, or like huffing and puffing or like
Mhm.
whatever. I just was quiet. Like
Mhm.
that was it. I was just quiet. And I guess I do talk more than I really think that I do, because apparently people are like, "Damn, you've been quiet for like 5 minutes. Are you okay?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Damn, do I?" Because first I'm like, "Damn, do I talk that much?" Where I'm like, "Shit, like
Mhm.
if I'm quiet for 5 minutes, yeah, like something's wrong. Like, damn,
Yeah.
like my bad. Like I'm just like kind of
But, like
taking things in. Like, you know
but
what I
here's the
mean?
thing,
Like,
when I am talkative, it's, "Shut up, you're being loud." I have found myself in a situation and this is why I have social anxiety because it's like,
right,
I have found myself in situations where I'm hanging out with certain people and we're at an event or whatever, and I'm talking and they like are telling me stop talking, like shut up, like are you talking to like I can tell they're embarrassed by my presence.
right.
And once I feel like you're embarrassed by me, I immediately want to just crawl up in a ball and die. Like truthfully.
No, yeah.
Because it's like, wow, I'm embarrassing you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
one hundred percent.
I don't want to be that person that makes other people feel that way of like,
Right,
gosh, I don't want to bring her because she does this, or oh, do we really have to invite her? I don't really want to invite her because she said this or she does, you know what I'm saying? And
right,
this goes back to even some of our family members of not inviting us to things and us questioning why and us doing a lot of self-reflecting of like, are we obnoxious? Are we
right,
annoying? Like our presence so badly irritates certain people that they would rather spend the rest of their lives not having a relationship with us
Right.
because of it.
And I think when it comes to family, that is an entirely different ballpark, of course.
Yeah.
Like, cause like, when you talk about standard social convention,
Mhm.
it's so different of a rule. It's kinda like why they say, like, it, like, hurts more with family 'cause versus, like, friends, you really do 'cause, like, and that's what I've kinda learned. When it comes with family, especially as of, like, past, like, year and a half or whatever, I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I know I'm not really doing much wrong here." Like,
I'm not
you know
doing
what I mean?
nothing that you aren't.
Exactly,
And if
I'm
anything, you're
either
actually acting way worse than
yeah, and it well,
me.
and or even then, it's like, what am I doing that's so consequential to you
Right.
as a person that you have that it matters this much, that you have to go out of your way to make it either apparent or known that it is a such a bothering thing to you. Like, it just takes time out of your day to think about. Like, you know what I mean? Versus again with people, whereas it's like, oh, well, these people don't know me from Adam, at least, not as much as my family would.
Mhm.
So obviously I am gonna think of like, oh, am I doing something? Like, you know what I
Right,
mean?
and
Like,
and also too and another social thing kinda similar to this that irritates me and Jose, we don't heavily drink, and that's not like a conscious choice, it's just because we don't like the way alcohol makes us feel. I don't
right,
like to be hungover. I don't know
right,
anybody who does, but when I'm hungover, it's a completely different thing versus normal people being hungover. Because if you're hungover, like Jose, for example, he has a headache all day.
right.
That's normal because you're dehydrated. Me, I am acting like I have food poisoning from every meat there is, actually. Like, I'm just not, I'm out for
Right,
the count, dude. And I don't want to drink a drop of alcohol for at least another month. I don't even want to think about it. It's going to make me
right,
nauseous. You get
right,
what I mean? So that's how I am when I'm personally hungover. So that's why Jose and I just don't drink often. But we do when we are around certain people because there's certain groups of friends of ours that love to drink and like some of his friends and some of my friends like they love to party that way. Now, Jose and I will take a 3 shots max, truthfully. Like that's just our thing. We like to feel like we're like coasting
right.
essentially,
Yeah, exactly.
We like to be on a vibe. We don't like to get plastered. That's not
Right,
our goal at all. Our goal is just to feel loose, have a good time, have a laugh or two. You know what I mean? Our goal is never to get blacked out drunk. And
right,
for some people, it is.
right. Oh yeah, it's
That's their
crazy.
goal. The second they take that first shot, they're like, let's get blacked out. And it's crazy because I'm like, why is that your goal? But I don't know. And that's no judgment. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. You do you. However, don't judge me for
Right,
not wanting to get blacked out drunk. Why is it a bad thing that I don't want to get plastered?
right. And it's
I'm
funny.
so
Sorry,
confused.
for some reason that reminded me of this. People talk about peer pressure with like drugs and things.
Uh-huh.
The only time peer pressure really happens is with alcohol, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I've never heard beg someone to take a hit of a joint that there's like, okay, more for me. You know what I
No,
mean?
exactly. Because
Like,
first of all, drugs are. I mean, not
right,
alcohol is expensive too, but drugs are
right.
expensive.
Versus
So
like
it's like I'm not
alcohol,
gonna
be like, come
waste.
on, take a
It's
shot,
just a shot. It's
take a
fine. Like,
shot.
no, dude,
Like,
I
come
don't
on,
want
just one
to.
shot.
I'm
It's like
okay,
one
actually.
more shot.
And
Like,
me and Jose have that type of self awareness where
which
it's
again,
like,
I'm not making fun of my friends or anything because obviously
right,
I
like
love them.
I'm
I'm young. I like to party, but we're talking about you right now. So it's
right.
like,
I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying I don't judge you for wanting to get blacked out drunk.
don't judge
I
me
will,
for
and
not
here's the
wanting to. Yeah,
exactly because here's the thing. I'm that friend that will hold your hair up. I am that friend that will stay at your house till 4 in the morning until you feel better.
right.
I am that
Make sure
friend.
you sleep on your side. I'm like,
Yes, I am that person that's like, does anybody have food? Can somebody get her water? Like
right,
that's the type of friend that I am when another friend is drunk like that. You get what I
right,
mean? I go into caretaker mode. I don't care
right,
how drunk I am. And that's the point. I'm not judging you,
right.
but you're judging me for not being on that level. I don't want to be on that
So
level.
you want me to hold your hair back, or do you want me to be in the toilet next to you?
That's what I
Like,
mean. And that's the thing. I think some people do want that. They want those friends that are gonna be puking next to them. one of us has to be responsible. Like, what are we talking
Right,
about?
like
And I'm fine with it being me.
oh, yeah, and I've gotten that comment before where, like, I've had, like, people legit turn to me in, like, a moment of chaos at a party and be like, "I'm sorry, you just seem like you're the only person that's, like, paying attention right now." I'm like, "No, I am." Like, like, it's
But and
like
that's the thing. I think that's because of how we were raised to always be on 10,
right, it's like,
and like, cuz but here's
like,
the thing. We
I
can have a good time and
yeah.
still be on 10.
Yeah, no, people negate that fact a lot. They're like, "Oh, relax." I'm like, "I am. I'm just, like, aware, making sure no one's gonna die. Like, what's wrong
Right?
with that?"
Exactly. What
Like
is wrong with making sure that everybody is safe?
right, I'm
I'm
like
confused. I'm not going up to everybody and being like,
right,
"Are you okay?
right.
Are you
I'm not
okay?"
sticking a breathalyzer in your mouth. Just
Exactly. I'm not
relax.
doing
Like
that, but it's also to a point where I am fine with that. I'm fine with not being drunk like you.
right,
I'm
right,
okay.
right. Like,
I and the what I've
sometimes I wanna be
eh,
very few, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
but also too it plays into how safe do I feel to get like this?
right.
Because it really depends on the environment that I'm in and who
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
with. Like
100%.
my 21st birthday, I was with my mom, I was with my boyfriend, I was with so many other family members that I know would take care of me and make sure nothing bad happened to me.
Right,
So I felt safe enough to get plastered that night. It was also
right,
my 21st birthday.
right,
It's a given. But as far as like certain friends, like going out with friends and stuff, I know that they want to get blacked out drunk and that's their goal. I'm okay with it not being mine.
right.
I'm okay. Also, too, drinks are expensive. What the hell? I don't want to be spending that. I used to also get me fun of for being a lightweight. That is not a bad thing.
Not when you're going out.
I was gonna say I spend way less money, and I'm a lightweight who can hang. Does that make sense?
Right.
Because I have the self awareness of if I take this next shot, I'm gonna get blocked out.
No, right? I know my limit. Like, at least,
Right.
like, I know when I'm like, "Nope, that next one is gonna send me right over the edge. I'm not doing it." Like, you
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Exactly. Because I
Like
also too I think about what do I have to do the next day? I have all these other responsibilities. Like that is part of being an adult. I have this super hyper self awareness of if I get plastered tonight, I won't be able to get my life together the next day.
right,
And that I hate that, dude. I hate
right,
being sick. I hate being like lethargic. I like to feel productive. I like to feel like I'm doing something with my life.
right.
And I've also noticed with these types of people that want to get blacked out drunk and are making fun of you because you don't want to, they can't handle their alcohol. That's what I've
Damn, I never
noticed.
even thought about it like that. It's
You
like,
are
damn, like, you're bragging about, like, puking over a trash can?
no,
Like,
well, not just that. It's more of like, oh my God, you guys are so lame, so boring. You guys don't want to get drunk like us. Oh my God, you don't want to take this next shot. No,
I'm
but
like, "I will take another one in 30 minutes when I feel prepared."
I was
I'm
gonna
like, you
say
know what I
like,
mean?
shit, let me chill for an
Like,
hour.
yeah,
Like,
right? Like, let me
relax.
settle in, bro.
But
Like
those types of people that are calling you lame and boring for not getting plastered are the same people who cannot handle their alcohol well.
right.
And I'm not saying like puking wise, I'm saying with the way that they act when they're drunk. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Those people that are angry when they're drunk, want to start fights, want to be violent, want to just like they're
Doing
not
weird
do
shit.
weird shit for sure. I no. I find it very ironic because I think that's projection. You're mad at the fact that I can handle my alcohol and you want to get me as vulnerable as that actually is
Or
disturbing.
not even that, not even I won't even say as vulnerable. It's like the saying of like, "Well, I can't do that, so let me knock you down the peg to where I am." Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let me get you as drunk and as stupid as I am, so anything that I do, you're probably gonna do something just as stupid,
Or
like,
worse.
or worse, so I don't look as bad. Like, you know what I mean?
That
Like
is exactly what I'm trying to say. People like that want you in a vulnerable state so that they can hold something against you.
right,
That's at
or
least
make it so you can't hold something against them.
there you go. Yes. Yes, that's
And
exactly what I was
usually
about to say.
and most of the time, actually, it's the latter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause it's I'm sorry, like, I've never been that level of party girl. I am the type to go to a rave and not do any substances, and that's
Oh, yeah,
fine.
hell no, you can't catch me with a blue in my hand, but,
No
like
judgment to those who do. Like I said, no judgment. If you want to do whatever you wanna do, that's fine, that's your life, that's your body. Do not judge me for not wanting to do that.
right.
That's all I'm saying. And
Right.
that's my rant for the week.
Right, yeah. Yeah, don't judge.
I
That's
mean, judge a little.
okay, well, yeah, judge within reason.
Judge within reason. There we go. We listen and
We
we
don't
judge
judge
within
within
reason.
reason. Now we are on to our, staple segment at this point. Why am I forgetting the name
For
of it?
cinema.
Force Cinema.
Oh my god.
I promise I pay attention. Arianna's pick for me this week was America's Sweethearts, which I will say this movie did surprise me. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, this one and the last one have both surprised me. This one surprised me more. I can honestly say this was a pretty good movie. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I did enjoy watching this movie.
I love this movie.
Like that, like most of the introduction of like to the character was very unorthodox. Like the kind of
Yeah.
like thing that we got in the beginning of like their little Hollywood love story.
Yeah.
Basically, it was like it's like, oh, we're gonna get this story of how these people like fell apart and like they're coming together and like
Mhm.
it's gonna be
It's
this classic,
very satirical.
or at least it seems like it is.
Right.
And obviously that's kind of what I liked. And first of all, Stanley Tucci, amazing. I
Yeah, you have
love
this cast is really
this. It
stacked.
is actually Julia Roberts, Stanley Tucci,
Catherine
Catherine
Zeta
Zeta.
Jones, and
Like,
then you have John Cusack,
yeah,
Billy Crystal, Julia.
like
We said Julia
yeah,
Roberts,
of
but you have to
course.
say it twice
Yeah,
because
it's
Julia
Julia Roberts.
Roberts.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci was great as
Yeah.
as like the studio head. He was hilarious. I loved that. Speaking of, I loved the comedic timing throughout this
Mhm.
entire movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Like
Yeah.
this whole him getting like taking the cactus pricks out of him, so the security guards
Oh
think he's
my
jerking.
gosh.
This
Yeah.
whole like and the publicist like in general
Mhm.
like throughout the whole movie, such a great character.
Yeah.
Like
Billy Crystal is truthfully amazing.
Billy Crystal's underrated, I think.
I think he is
Like,
too.
at least maybe now he's underrated. I feel like he used to be held in much higher regard when like these kinds of movies were coming out like in this like era,
For sure.
right? Because
Because
like,
he's a guest star in Friends, and he guest starred with Robin Williams, and
mm-hmm,
again, like he's in another movie that's on the list, When Harry Met Sally, and he's just truthfully a gem, I
right?
think, in my
Honestly,
opinion, and I feel like we don't appreciate him enough
right? I
because
mean,
his comedic timing in this movie is my favorite.
so so great. I love every moment of this movie. That like
Hmm.
it was honestly a really enjoyable watch. I will say. What got me a lot about it, like I said earlier, was it's an unorthodox, I think, type of rom com. We
Right.
don't see these characters that we first get introduced to
Hmm.
trying to get back together. Well, we, actually trying to get back together. Like it's not the end of the movie. Like you know what
Hmm.
I mean. It's not the conclusion. It's not the one we want either. But yeah, no, I loved it. It was so great.
Hmm.
A lot of great comedic timing. The storyline was fantastic. I love the way that we saw each kind of relationship grow.
Mm.
Definitely, like especially like throughout the movie. Because I will say, John Cusack's character, his like whole thing with Julia Roberts' his character,
Hmm.
that feel it felt a little shoehorned in a way.
You think
Because
so?
well, because you think no, genuinely think about it. Like think about when you watch the movie back,
Hmm.
it doesn't come a thing until like we literally don't get introduced to it at all until her, which granted yes it is like 34 minutes into the movie still, like whatever, it's still somewhat early.
Hmm.
It's not until like we see Julia Roberts character go get John Cusack from the hotel to go
Oh,
meet Catherine
right.
Zeta-Jones, and then we
Yes.
get that flashback of them. That is the first time we get any mention of it, we get any hint of it really.
You're
Like
right.
that's
I
it.
see what you're saying. It kind of
Mhm.
just was a little
It felt like
random.
it got placed in the story really, which
Mhm.
again, it was part of how it was in an unusual rom-com, definitely
Yeah.
a unique rom-com, I guess I should say. But it did kind of throw me off how it was thrown in there a little bit oddly. Like
Mhm.
we didn't even get like in that montage of like her sister in the background maybe, or like you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
I see what you're
do you yeah,
saying.
see like you
Yeah,
get what I'm
I feel
saying?
like we
Like
should have gotten a little bit of foreshadowing of
right.
the type of crush that Julia
Right.
Roberts' character had on
Exactly.
John Cusack's character, and
Exactly.
I do see what you're saying
Mhm.
because again, like because this entire movie, John Cusack's character is trying to get Catherine Zeta's character. back.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, majority of the entire movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
and then
his
it
whole
isn't
thing.
until like I want to say the last 30 or so
It's
minutes
about, yeah.
we see him.
Well, last 40. Yeah.
Yeah, about the last like 40 or 30 minutes is when we actually start to get introduced to this type of weird, I don't want to say weird, but it is an unusual trope of, oh, I picked the wrong sister. Do
Right.
you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they are sisters. Catherine Zeta
Yeah,
Jones'
they're
character
sisters.
and Julia Roberts' character, they are sisters,
Which
which
that wasn't established quickly at all
no,
either.
it wasn't.
Like,
Because they don't look alike at all.
not
Like,
at all.
they just really don't look
They
related at
don't.
all.
They
So,
don't at
so
all.
it
I
just
even tried to
really
be
threw me
like
for a
I
loop.
even tried to be like maybe the nose. Nope.
No, yeah,
Like
they don't look alike at
they
all.
don't.
And honestly, I think the whole sister thing would have been a one of those plot lines or one of those character things that they could have done without, and the plot still would have made more
Right?
sense.
My assistant. I think it
Exactly,
still would have had the
because
same kind of shock value.
exactly because Julia Roberts stands up to her.
Right.
So it's like one of those things. It could have been this movie where the publicist in general is standing up to the person that she works for.
Right.
They didn't have to be
Well, she's her
sisters.
assistant.
Her assistant, yes, my bad. It So I mean, again, if it was just one of those cases where you take the sister relationship out of it, this film should have still made
Right.
sense.
Yeah,
And I that's my
exactly.
only critique about this film personally for me is that they didn't need to be sisters.
I mean, as far as like recommendations have been so far, I can confidently say that this was definitely a better one. Like I did enjoy this one. I mean, it wasn't focused so much on like the cheesy sort of like tropes that most of these rom-coms have been focused
Mhm.
on, which again, I love that. Like
Right.
I love an unorthodox approach to any sort of genre, really. Like when you can
Right.
be like, is this or this, or like when you kind of
Yeah.
things bleed into another. Like, I like that. It's great.
And I love
Like,
these types of movie genres that do a satirical take on the acting industry or
mm,
Hollywood in
oh
general.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that. Getting back to the ending of my review of the movie. I mean, I don't think I would recommend it as a must see, to be honest
Mm.
with you. At least like not in like a
You have to see
right,
this.
right, not in
It'll
like a
change your
right.
life.
This isn't 10 things I hate about you.
This isn't a lot
But
like love.
right,
This isn't
right,
500 Days of Summer.
right, exactly.
But if it's something if you're in the mood for tonight,
Right, or
for a
like if
fun,
you're like
lighthearted
on
movie.
some like Julia Roberts kick and
Yeah.
like because you probably haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, I see.
Like,
This is one
you
of
know
her
what I
more
mean?
niche
Yeah,
movies.
I've never heard of this, and it has Julia Roberts and Catherine Zeta-Jones in it,
And
and
Billy
Billy
Crystal
Crystal,
and John
like,
Cusack.
and
Like
yeah,
it
and
has so
Stanley
many
Tucci,
it
like,
has so many notable names that
yeah,
I'm
no,
surprised. Like when you go on Letterboxd, this movie is rated like a 2.
it's so good.
It's
I think it's good though. Like,
But
I
here's the
think,
thing about Letterboxd ratings, people think they're a film critic.
well, yeah, well, look what we're doing.
Well, right, but what we're doing is kind of like we're not saying like, "Oh, this movie's just so bad, so horrible,"
Right, like
because it's subjective, right?
it's hard for me to give a movie
Like
below a
a horrible
2 and a
rating.
like to me like the lowest rating I think I could give like a movie is probably 2.5 stars. So I think all in all I would give the movie a solid 3.5 out of 5. Like
That's
I
not
said,
bad.
yeah. Like I said earlier, the only reason it kind of does lose a bit for me is because I do feel like the sister thing was a bit kind of shoehorned in. Just that whole sort of his and her relationship, like their
Mhm.
history, seemed a bit shoehorned in within the context of,
Yeah.
or I guess within the script of the movie. Not exactly within the context, but within the script of the movie.
Yeah.
Like that just kind of like felt a little bit, just strange to me. It just
You could have gone without it.
right, exactly. And obviously, yeah, it was for those certain points where or like the divorce paper. They got mentioned to him once. We never went over it again.
Oh, the divorce papers, yeah, because they never were really divorced.
She like Julie Roberts' character like spewed it out on them out of anger,
Mhm.
walked away. He went after her. They said nothing about it the rest of the movie.
It's like, did they get
Yeah, I
divorced?
know. I'm sorry. It would have been nice to have just been like, yeah, I signed the papers.
Or it would have been nice to see him like when in that mix of the whole chaos when they're
Right, been
watching
like
the movie for the
done,
first
like or
time.
like
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly. Him
like
quickly signing and be like, "Here,
right.
we're not married
Or even
anymore."
in that moment where she's mentioning it, like her like have the papers and be like, okay, done. I'm
To
going to chase
prove
after
that
your sister, like,
exactly,
yeah, you
yeah,
know what I
that would
mean?
have been great. I see
That
what you're saying,
like,
yeah.
there are moments that I would have liked that. Get me in the studio.
Right? Get him in the writer's
Like,
room right
goddamn.
now.
But yeah, no, I did like this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a good one, but not my favorite so far
I was gonna say, what has been your favorite so far?
though. So far, honestly, a lot like Love. Yeah,
Yeah. Kinda wanna start this thinking of where you kind of rank
right,
your own where you kinda introduce your own ranking to the movies that I've shown you,
right.
so what is the ranking of it so far?
So far, number one is A Lot Like Love.
Mhm.
Number two, 10 Things I Hate About You. Number three,
America's
America's Sweethearts.
Sweethearts?
Honestly, yeah,
That's really surprising.
I would take this one over 500 Days of Summer
Really?
for the simple. Actually, let me take that back. I do put 500 Days of Summer over this, but it only comes very close
Mhm.
because I find this to be a lot more of just an enjoyable movie
Yeah, not a
than
movie that's
500 Days
like,
or
ugh.
not a movie that I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, I might have been an asshole at some point, or like,
Right.
damn, I was exactly like this poor guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a great movie artistically. Don't get me
For
wrong.
sure.
Like, God, but like,
But yeah, from
but
enjoyment standpoint,
right, exactly.
and the last one that is 27 Dresses is your last one?
Yeah, the last one's 27 Dresses. I don't. I could have gone my entire life without seeing 27 Dresses, and I would have been fine.
And speaking of the ranking of
Right.
things, I once again have a long list of chick flicks. So far, it's 54 movies. Actually, there might now be 55, which we'll get into with our hyperfixation segment. So, with that being said, America's Sweethearts on my list of chick flicks of all time
Mhm.
ranks currently at number 19.
Number 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can see that. I
Yeah,
can see
and
that.
again, it goes to the point of if you're keeping track of where my movies are ranking right now, it goes to a point where it's like, would I watch this movie over this one? Can I
Right.
go the rest of my life never seeing this movie again over this one? You know what I mean? That's how I rank things in my brain. That's how it works for me. It's never like, oh, this movie's artistically better than this one. It's just objectively better. That's why it's ranking. It's not that for me at all when I do these types of rankings. It's more of like, which movie do I simply enjoy better?
Right.
If I'm choosing between this one or this one, which one am I going to pick over it?
Exactly.
With that, now it's my
On
turn.
to The Truman Show.
And this week, Marcus assigned me The Truman Show.
Yep.
um, I actually have seen bits and pieces of this movie. I've seen a good amount of it. I just never saw the last 30 minutes of it. So as I rewatched it and watched all the way to the end, I cannot believe I didn't finish it because I can't remember why I didn't finish it when I first watched it, but I'm just in disbelief that I
Right.
never saw
And
the
the
entirety of
ending
this
is
movie.
iconic too.
Yes, the ending is very probably one of my favorite endings in a
Like,
Jim Carrey movie that I've ever seen. Listen, starting off, this movie was Black Mirror before Black Mirror happened.
oh yeah.
It walked so Black Mirror could run. And if you are
Mhm.
not familiar with the show Black Mirror, get familiar because we are living in it.
Yeah.
This movie that you showed me, it's almost like I see this happening in real life. Absolutely. And here we'll get into what disturbs me the most about this movie. But first, let me just say this movie just demonstrated the power of media so well.
Mhm.
And we say this all the time with these movies, but it truly is a movie that is ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
And
Big time.
going into the whole technicality of it all, the production is incredible. The use of the set is incredible as well. The set design is just so unique to me and the way that it's used. This whole concept is so unique. Like, truthfully, the writer of this movie and the director, Peter Weir, is just incredible to even come up with this
Right? To conceive
and
something like this.
execute it so
Like, when you
well.
get introduced into how everything is working, you're like, "Whoa." Like, you
Yeah,
know what I
and
mean?
I haven't watched many Peter Weir movies. This movie and The Dead Poet Society is the only one that I've seen. And
That's on the list too.
and comparing Dead Poet Society to like The Truman Show, two very different,
Very tonally different movies.
yes, shot in a completely different way.
Mhm.
So it's very, again, this movie is just very unique in terms of storytelling and the whole plot line of it. It's just incredible. And to get into my overall ranking, 4 stars out of 5. And the reason why this movie lost a star is because of the lack of accountability that is in this movie. Granted, this movie's almost 2 hours long. Like, how much more can you really show? But I feel like this movie could have been 3 hours long. And the reason being is because he is 30 years old at this time that we're watching him in this movie. And as I was watching this movie, I was thinking to myself, I hope they show the backstory. I hope they show how this began, why this even happened. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I want the reasons to my questions answered in this.
Right.
And granted, they were. The storyline of Truman is very disheartening. The fact that he was born to just put his life on display from the minute he was in his mother's womb is disheartening to even know. All because this director was so sick of the fake acting and wanted real. Dude, what are we even talking about? The only person that's real here is Truman. Everybody else is fake. I can see if this movie went in the direction of filming people that are around Truman
Right.
in his everyday life and he doesn't know that he's being filmed. But the fact that this director took it in a direction of this is the only person that has to know that everything around him is real, everybody else knows that it's fake, that is insane to me. Because how awful is it? You would 30 years of your life, nothing has been real. The relationship you have with your parents, not real. Your childhood, not real. His friendships, not real. The people he's acquainted with, the people he works with, so not real. Nothing is. That's 30 years of your life that is not real to you.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to admit me into a psych ward. And I think that's what I admire about Truman's character. And I was going down a rabbit hole a little bit after this. Someone, I believe on Reddit, had said the saddest part about this movie when the movie ends and people are rooting for him, right? Which is odd. Some people are rooting for him and some people are saddened that this show is ended or like crashing out because there's no more watching Truman.
Right.
And some people are like, oh, okay, well, let's move on to the next. Like, whatever.
See what else is on.
Yeah, exactly. That is so dystopian to me. This person had made a point about this movie of he can exit this studio and all the fakeness of it all, but he's going to be entering another world where he's the most recognizable person, and the people around him have watched him grow up, and he's entering another world where people are looking at him as if he's just entertainment still. It's going to be still hard for him to form these
Damn.
real relationships with people because all
Mm.
they see is what they have seen for 30 years. They
I
already
actually haven't thought about that.
these people around him already think they know him
Right.
because they've seen him. And as far as the ending goes, the way they ended this movie, the last line,
It's a line that is supposed to signify, especially coming from that movie,
mhm,
being being done with expectation,
yeah,
being done with what you might think is the world around, what you might think people want from you,
mhm,
and being done with having to put up with that.
mhm,
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Because that is all I have to say to you.
yeah. And the director is like yelling at him, say something.
Good
Afternoon,
afternoon,
good
good
evening,
evening,
and
and
good
good night.
night. Like, and then walking away. I think also too the whole thing with his dad. Like they traumatized this man on purpose so that he didn't have the itch to escape.
Mm-hmm. Insane, huh?
That is disturbing. Very much disturbing. And I can see some demented ass person doing this to somebody. And the sad part is, as a society, we won't do anything about it. I mean,
We'll tune in.
hopefully
Mm-mm-mm.
hopefully someone will do something about
Oh,
it. I
yeah.
mean, I personally wouldn't tune into that because again, that's very disturbing.
Right.
Someone made a joke on Letterboxd where it was like, imagine like watching him on the other side of the world, and when you tune in, he's just sleeping. Like, how disappointed would you be when you're awake, he's sleeping? Like, that's the only time you see him is when he's sleeping. You know what I mean? But that's so crazy. Like, in a world where this is really happening, some people only know Truman as this guy that sleeps on TV. And one of the only other like critiques that I do have about this movie, I wish we saw him meet Sylvia.
Yeah, I really wish we saw that too, personally.
Because that actually really saddened me that we didn't get to see him meet her, because she like sees that he's leaving the studio, she grabs her coat, she runs out, she has a bunch of free Truman posters
And
all
that's
over her room,
all we get.
and that is all we get. We don't see them reuniting, and I really wish we did. That's the only thing I would like to have seen that we didn't get from this movie.
Right,
But going into my fun facts of this, I only have a couple. um Ed Harris, who's Kristoff in
right.
this movie, the director, and Jim Carrey never met on set.
Really?
Yeah. So also too, the story is Ed Harris wasn't supposed to be in this movie. It was supposed to be a different actor or more of a director, Dennis Hopper. He was actually the one that was set to be Kristoff, the director.
Mm,
And something, it's very unclear what happened. I guess he got fired or he left due to creative differences. You know, that's a PR
right.
response to those types of things. But it ended up being Ed Harris because Peter Weir had came across him in New York and was like, "Hey, like I have this movie. Would you want to do it?" And he was like, "Sure, cool."
Oh,
And yeah, that's how Ed Harris became Kristoff in this movie.
oh,
Actually, Peter Weir, and this kind of goes into my next fact. The movie theater audience was almost a part of the movie. So Peter Weir, the director,
right.
had his he had this idea to have hidden cameras installed in the theater and have the projectionist cut the movie to the camera feed of the audiences and then cut
Oh,
back to the movie to make it more artistically meta
right,
and cater to the dystopianness of
right.
this movie. And there was even an idea that Peter Weir was going to be the director in this movie.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, so and I felt like that would have been a great choice, you know,
Yeah.
I really wanna know why he just decided not to. Those are the only fun facts that I have. The rest of the facts that I found on this movie was more of the hidden things that are in it, like, the ad placements in this movie is hilarious. It's a
It
little bit of, like, a satirical
is,
thing.
yeah.
Like, the reason why he listens to classical music every morning is because classical music is public domain. That's the only type of music they can play
Play,
for
right,
over a show without having to buy rights,
right.
essentially. So that was very interesting. But all these little things in this movie are, if you haven't deep gone down the Truman Show rabbit hole, I highly suggest you do, because there is so many things that are so creatively done. But my thing is, I'm not understanding, and I guess this is my question to you. Why is it this a bro coded movie? Because I don't think it's this movie's target audience is solely men.
Definitely not. And I think I might have said this to you before, is not all of these will be,
Mm.
because, like, it might have just, like, a male-centered character,
Oh, I
and
see.
because here's the thing is, the bigger thing, I guess, like, the more artistic thing that I find about Truman Show is, just like you said, it's a man that goes through 30 years of his life while thinking everything around him is real.
I
His
see.
life, his friendships, his mother, his entire world. And then one thing starts to slip and he starts to question everything
Mhm.
because he sees something, because he sees like the sets and all, he starts to see the walls breaking, basically, in
Yeah.
a metaphorical sense.
Mhm.
And that launches him into this hysteria of what is real? What even am I?
Right.
And in a sense, it's about a man who is waking up
Mm.
and who is kind of like we said earlier, the reason for the tattoo. He's shedding these expectations of the literal world around him,
Mhm.
like literally in the set, and the people who are watching him, he is shedding those expectations of all these people. He's coming into this own realization of his life of I am my own like real being. Like I
Mhm.
have this in this essence of me. Like I'm a person. Like
Mhm.
and I'm being trapped in this space to be controlled.
Hmm. Okay, that makes more
Oh,
sense
yeah.
because I was like, I feel like the target audience is everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, because like all, I think I want to say all of my movies, the target audience is women.
Yeah, because I can't say I don't think there's enough movies where, their target audience was a man.
Not enough,
Because
but
you gotta keep in mind that movies were also made for people to have to drag their girlfriends and wives, and they'd be, like, okay and somewhat entertained. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
same thing, vice versa.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Right. But yeah, that's all I have for the Truman
yeah,
Show.
well, I'm glad you liked it very
Yeah,
much.
and I like seeing Jim Carrey in more serious roles. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I think this is one of his best roles.
Oh, it's
I've
my favorite
personally,
it's my personal favorite
yeah.
Jim Carrey movie besides The Grinch.
Well,
But yeah,
let's move
that's
on.
Truman Show, let's move on.
Moving on to our next segment. It's previously on the internet. First thing I want to discuss is Odessa Zion getting casted as a Latina in a movie adaptation for a book called Deep Cuts. The plotline of the book Deep Cuts is essentially this songwriter that it's like an indie rock songwriter. His name's Joe. There's this woman that falls in love with him, or not falls in love with him yet, but like struggles. It's like this tug and pull. It's like a will they, won't they type of book.
Okay.
Because he's a songwriter. She's like obsessed with his music, I believe. It's
Mhm.
one of those things. I don't want to misinterpret the plotline of the book. I've never read it or have heard of it,
Right.
but nonetheless, there's an adaptation. There's a character in the book slash movie. Her name is Zoe Gutierrez. Key name Gutierrez. She's a Latina. Duh.
Right.
So why would you want to cast anybody other than a Latina?
Right, and I wanna preface this to, like, anyone as well of these types of things are pretty much almost always, like, never the actor's fault. This is the casting director's fault.
For
This is the
sure. For
studio's
sure.
fault.
And listen,
Like,
a lot of people are hammering down on Odessa.
which from what I heard, though, she turned it down.
Yes, so that's what I'm getting into.
Right.
So, because from my understanding and what I've read, and of course, everything on the internet, some of it's true, some of it's not. But what I've seen and what's consistently being brought up in this side of the story is that she was purely offered this role. She didn't audition.
Oh,
And the producers of this
that
movie,
makes me more mad,
yeah,
but
exactly. The producers of this movie are the same team that did Marty Supreme. Odessa Zion was in Marty
right, yeah,
Supreme.
of course.
So I guess from her side of things, her side of the story is she was asked by one of the team members from Marty Supreme, hey, there's this other movie, we want you to be this character. Without, to her knowledge, knowing any context of what exactly the character is. She
Right.
just knew what the plot line of the movie was about and she was all in. Like let's look at this from a point of an actor, okay? Huge part of acting that we know being in the industry, rubbing elbows.
Right, of
You
course.
need to rub elbows with everybody and anybody that is willing to give you the time of day, even to say something as simple as, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Right.
Your impression, your energy, your aura is everything. So let's say we are working on this movie. I'm rubbing elbows with so many people. I'm making friends with the producers because as an actor, that's what you do. You sell yourself.
Right.
That sounds a little dark, but that's you're selling your acting skills.
Yeah,
You're
no,
selling
yeah.
yourself as an actor. And that's how you get far in this
And hell,
industry.
as a tolerable person,
Exactly. And also making it known that you are someone that other people want to work with.
right.
That is very important. So, with that being said, you make friends and they're seeing you act, they're seeing your process, they're seeing that you're obviously dedicated to the craft because she is a Nepo baby. And in this industry where nepotism is so saturated, because in a way, everyone's a Nepo baby at some capacity because it's again, going back to it's about who you rub elbows with and it's about who you know in this industry. It truly is. So from a producer standpoint, you're seeing, oh, I have this movie in mind. I think she would be great in it. And selfishly, you're not ethically thinking she's not Latina. That's the problem. She'd be great for this role, but she's not Latina, and it's right. And there's so many Latina
Yeah.
actresses that I feel like could be
Now
great.
too, especially, there's like no excuse. Like
Exactly. Xochitl
now,
Gomez,
yeah.
Isabella Merced,
Mhm.
Alexa Demi, even crazy. You are looking for a Latina actor or Latino actor, whatever, man or woman, for a certain part that is catered to being a Latina, but you don't want them to be in it because they're too dark skinned, they have a heavy accent. And you know what's crazy too?
Their hair might be too curly for all like for like you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
The hair texture is just not what we're looking for.
Right.
It's appalling, dude. It's so ridiculous because our parts get taken from actors who look Latino at some sort of capacity just because they have darker hair and dark eyes
Right, or like certain like facial
or
features.
certain facial features. Exactly. All any of us people of color, what we want is to be seen and represented correctly.
Right. To the main point of I'm glad she turned it down.
Right.
I'm glad
Right.
that it didn't end up happening, but it does. But to the reason why we're even discussing it is studios and like executives, casting directors, whatever, they need to do better in the sense of like like look for the right role.
It, be
Like
patient.
you know what? Like look for the right person for the role. Like come on, this is art. This is a movie for
Mhm.
God's sake. We shouldn't just be rushing it. Like now, literally just because of this, I'm like, I don't know how this movie's gonna be made. I don't know. I don't know how much faith I have in this movie for
Mhm.
how much like they're already trying to rush casting.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and I will, to her credit, she did turn it down when
Yeah,
she found out.
and that's a great,
And that's and it is. But here's also another viewpoint of this. She turned it down, yes, but I think it's because she's a nepo baby. She knows I can turn this role down and I can get another one tomorrow. Do you get what I'm
I mean, at
saying?
least she was able to turn it down.
Exactly. She's able to.
Right.
Some of us working actors take what we
And I
can
actually
get.
was gonna make that point of like earlier. It's like, damn, well, I got to do it though, because like no one has seen me. I'm not in anything. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? So at
Exactly.
least she was able, like, to
Yes,
do
to
that.
do that. Yes, because it's like you said, it's almost most of the time. I mean, I would venture out to say all the time, never the actor's fault about the casting.
Right.
It's the casting director.
Right.
And not just that, but the production.
Right.
Why is no one there can be multiple casting directors. There usually is. There's not just one. So why isn't anybody saying, "Wait, hold on. She's not the ethnic background that we need.
Right. Exactly.
We need to find somebody that is and can act or at least be teachable." Because there's a lot of cases where like they'll cast someone because they look the part, but they can't act. And that's where this conversation of money and time comes into place. That's why actors aren't allowed to have tattoos or
Right.
actors aren't allowed to dye their hair crazy colors. We have to be as plain as possible because they need to strip us down to create us to be people that we are not. That's the whole
Right.
point. Because time is money.
Right. Exactly.
I get that. I get time is money. But like you just said, it's art. Art should not be rushed.
Not at all.
And
Like,
that's why I think it's so important for people like us that have this ambition and are so passionate about this to create, to write,
mm-hmm.
to come up with unique ideas. Like we have one, we just have yet to have the time to
Right.
sit down and start writing and start coming up with the plot lines of this. And that's the thing too, time. Real life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both work 5 days out of the week like regular
Yeah.
people. And the 2 days we have, we there's that work life balance, But like I said, I mean, I think the internet's coming down on her way too harshly. She turned the role down. What more do you want from her?
Right.
And we need, and again, the reason why they're holding her accountable is because people know her name. People don't know the casting director's name in this movie. And if they did, I'm sure they would be also coming down on them, but rightfully so. Don't rush art.
Mhm.
That's it. But with that being said, let's move on to our last segment,
Yeah.
weekly hyperfixation.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
Weekly, honestly, my weekly fixation, I haven't really had like too much as far as this week goes, to be honest. I will say I've been rewatching Modern Family now.
Really? So have
Yeah.
I. I
And
put it on before I go to bed.
real. I mean, honestly, I love Modern Family. It's so good. It holds up. I
Hmm.
like don't care. The humor is hilarious. I love watching Sofia Vergara in that entire show. Every moment she's on screen is fantastic.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, Marcus.
I don't care.
Well, it's so funny because on Hulu, I don't know if they do this for other shows, but with this one, because you can watch Modern Family on Hulu. I don't know
Right.
if you can watch it on any other streaming service, but they have like little sections of what episodes to watch. Like these are the episodes with guest stars. These are the episodes with this type of
Really? I
character or
didn't
this
know
type of
that.
plot line. Yeah. And I love this show. I love this type of comedy too. It's
Right? I love single cam.
oh my gosh, single cam comedy.
Like,
I I'm not a huge fan of like multicam.
which don't get me wrong, Friends classic.
Yeah,
Like,
of course, there's certain nostalgia that happens with
right.
multicam comedy. I have to be real, like that's why I haven't watched the spinoff of Young Sheldon, George and Mandy's marriage
Oh
or
yeah, George and Mandy's first marriage.
yes, that's why I haven't watched it because
It
it
switches. It's a
switched.
multicam com,
Yes, and I hate that.
which is so weird because we love Friends.
Yeah, I love Friends. I love
Mm.
Seinfeld. I
Right.
love, like those old school Cheers, like those
Right.
old school type of multicam comedies. But I think there's something about it being done modernly right now that doesn't have that type of nostalgia that it once had before. I
I think
think
I
it
can
just
see
looks
your
so much
point.
more performative to me. It
Mm.
doesn't look as genuine. With Young Sheldon, I felt like I knew this family, truthfully. Before I dove into like wanting to watch it, I seen the clips and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why does it look completely different? And I really want to
Which is
know,
weird because it's been very well received.
and that's fine because people aren't weird like us.
Right. Eh,
People are just like normal people are like, oh, it's a spinoff show that from a show that I liked. I'm going to continue to watching this. For me, it's like I don't want to watch it because they switched the format.
right.
I'm sorry. But like I said, like we grew up with a lot of multicam comedy shows. Like even more mentioning Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Full House, George
Right.
Lopez. Like
Right.
we grew up watching that. So for some reason, I don't know if it's because the camera quality's there's something about this is gonna sound so stupid. I'm gonna sound really dumb to a lot of people, but there's something about the camera quality being better and not having this like type of graininess to it that old shows used to have that make me not like the
I
fact that
you
it's
know what I think it
multicam.
is? It's not that. It's the fact that it's a show that's set in an older period that doesn't have that grain for you.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is because I don't
Cause
feel that way with Big Bang Theory.
right. Exactly.
I don't feel that way with, other modern like shows. I don't know why. I just
Right. Cause even Young Sheldon kinda has like not like the way they color grade the show is
yes.
very to like the 80s, right? Yeah. The
Yes.
80s, yeah, it's very to like the 80s and like all that. But I think Georgie and Mandy's, it doesn't, maybe something about it doesn't look that way to
Because
you.
that's also why I never got into wanting to watch that 90s show
Right.
because I've watched the 70s show.
Right.
And again, it comes down to the color grading, the type of camera. I don't even know the editing, the production of it all. Like it's just
It's a different show.
it's so different. And I think you nailed it right on the head. I don't like the fact that it is supposed to be set in a modern or in a older time period and it looks modern.
Right.
I don't like that.
So it feels like you're like watching almost being filmed.
Yes.
Like I'm on set right now. Like I can
That's
see
what I
this. Like you know what I mean?
exactly, and it takes me out of
Like it
the
takes you right.
magic,
Yeah, exactly.
because when I watch TV shows, I like to not be in my reality.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like to escape, and that's my form of it, and it's just it's not for me, and that's why I like watching like Modern Family again. Like it's a single cam comedy because I feel like we're there,
Right.
but in a way of like I feel like we know these people.
Right.
You get what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I interrupted you and
No,
went on a whole
yeah.
tangent, but keep going.
I mean, that was really it. That like Modern Family has really just been in my rewatches now, and I mean, I honestly this I've still continued on my like alternative kick as
Mhm.
far as these past couple of weeks. Not planning on stopping. Although actually there was one thing where and I think I kind of like I think I might have touched on this a couple of weeks ago, but of like just going back to music that you had listened to.
Oh, right.
Like I have been going through like my raps from like past
Hmm.
years.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
damn, some
love
of
doing
these
that.
damn, this shit was a banger. Like my
Yeah.
Fora era, goddamn.
Oh my gosh.
Goddamn. I Think
We
I Love You came up, banger. You
it
Got What I Like. That song is such a banger. I
okay.
read it, it re came in and I was like, oh my god, this
Can
is
we
so
talk about
good.
our Fora phase for a second? So, if you guys don't know who Fora is a rapper.
R&B artist, yeah.
I classify him as R&B artist too, but
Yeah.
he's underground, very underground still, but
I'd say decently underground still.
we had this huge phase, and it was that phase where like depressing music was a huge thing.
Yeah,
You were still in that limbo of like sad music, like Trippy Red, Juice World,
right. X, yeah.
X, yeah, like you were Lil Peep, like
Right.
we were really in this era of like depressing music in 2018, which is needs to be studied. That's so weird.
Mm.
But that's what our age demographic was listening to at that time, and Fora was very popular, especially because we lived in LA and he's from LA,
Right.
and he also was known for his clothing brand, Yours Truly. And I still have a
I
couple
have
of
mine. Yeah,
pieces.
I still have
Yeah,
mine.
exactly. I have a couple of merch from that clothing line because it wasn't like merch really. It was
Yeah,
more a clothing line that he designed,
right.
and it was actually back when it first happened and first got popular. It was they had good
It was
pieces.
pretty banging. I
Yeah,
mean,
not gonna
like,
lie. And again, like I still own a couple of
yeah.
hoodies. I own a couple of T-shirts still. But I remember loving his music
Oh yeah.
and his earlier albums. Like I remember, like, "With Love" was like my first introduction to Fora when I was about 13. That whole album of I think "Distance" was the first song I've ever heard. I remember because he would do free meet and greets.
Right. Yeah.
Keyword free and very
Whew.
much also giving away a lot of stuff during
Right.
that time. The first one that I remember going to was this free meet and greet that he had on Hollywood Boulevard. It was that shoe palace that was right there off the strip, and
I remember I
he was
stayed
giving
home.
he was giving away free pair of shoes per person. That unfortunately people took advantage of. So many people like down the block, and it got pretty chaotic.
People
People
didn't even
started
know this guy.
Yeah, people didn't even know him. They just heard free shoes.
Like, oh, this guy's giving away free shoes.
Yes, and
Which the most LA shit
the most
ever.
LA shit and most dystopian shit ever, dude. Like what the hell? And I remember like asking people in line, like making conversations and like, "Oh, like what songs do you like of his?" I don't know who he is. And I would get rage bait, dude, because I'm like, why are you here?"
Right.
And there was one point where this is where it really got chaotic because people started like pushing and trying to bum rush
Right.
the store, and it got bad. So security got involved. Thankfully, to my knowledge, no one got hurt, but they had to halt the meet and greet. And I remember him getting in his car and driving out to the front of Shoe Palace, and people were just crowding around. I think I have Snapchat videos from this, like crowding around his car, and like he's like blasting his new album because his new album Love Is Hell had came out at that time,
Yeah, yeah, it actually
and
just came out. Yeah.
and he was like blasting the songs from that, and but it was a huge phase of mine, and he
Yeah.
opened up his clothing store in LA. He had a bunch of meet and greets in there. There was one time he was having one, and I think I went really early in the day or super late. I can't even remember because I found it very odd that he announced he was having a meet and greet that day, but there was no line out the door when I arrived. So I was like, well, I just want to like maybe go look at a couple things, get myself maybe another hoodie or whatever. And mom like dropped me off and she's like, "Okay, like I'll be parked right here. Let me know, like I'll be right here when you're done." And then I go inside. He's on like Instagram, like filming an Instagram video. And I go in and I turn and he's right there. Mind you, I'm a huge fan of his at this point.
Right.
So I'm like freaking out as if I just saw Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh my God, like hi, like just like super fangirling over this dude. Like it's so embarrassing when I look back on it because it's like, my gosh. Like, "Can I take a picture, like, with you?" You know, he's like, "Yeah, like, take a picture." And again, super nice. He was I remember, like, remembering how nice he was
Right.
because I remember that day he posted about a friend of his passing away. Like, he was so nice, didn't shoo me away or anything like
Right.
that, and going to his concerts. That was the first concert I
That
took you
yeah, that
to.
was the first concert I went to.
Yep, I that was actually yeah,
Yeah.
that was your first
Mhm.
ever concert.
Was
That
a
is
4 concert at the
crazy.
Mission Ballroom. It was
It
Mission
was at the
Ballroom.
Mission Ballroom here in Denver,
Mhm.
and we went, and
Mhm.
that whole story within itself is a whole other thing of how you ended up going with me because somebody else was supposed to go with me, and that
Right.
just didn't end up happening,
Right.
but it was a great experience.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you went with me
I'm
because it
glad I
was
went.
nice. It was good to be able to take you to your first ever concert, and it was an intimate concert too
It
because
was
it was
a
a small venue,
small venue.
and there wasn't many people like how there usually is in general admission concerts. Like we're like fighting for our lives.
Right.
Getting into my weekly hyperfixation, I have been literally listening to Don Toliver's new album,
Octane.
Octane. And I have to say, like, I was introduced to Don Toliver when everybody else was,
Right.
with no idea, getting popular on TikTok
Right.
um and I have to say my favorite album of his is Life of a Don because of the R&B-ness of it all. Because a lot of people don't consider him a rapper. I don't really either. I think he's more of an R&B artist, and I think it's because I like more of his R&B songs.
Right.
So this newer album, I kind of wasn't really feeling because it was more of his rap trap side.
Right.
But the first song on it, E85,
Mhm.
samples Chest Pain by Malcolm Todd. And Malcolm Todd is an artist that I discovered and introduced you to
Mhm.
that I was hyperfixated on all last summer because I truthfully love Malcolm Todd. I love indie R&B music,
Mhm.
like artists like Steve Lacy, Frank Ocean, Sir, Malcolm Todd, for example. Like there's so many other indie R&B
Yeah, Malcolm
artists.
Todd's also, like, alternative as
I
well, like,
want
a
to say
certain point.
alternative R&B. Yeah. When I was like pressing play on this album and I heard that sample, and it's my favorite part in the song being sampled, that guitar riff
Mhm.
and that bass. I just floated, dude. And I hate when this happens when the album starts off so good with the first song
Right.
and then the rest of it falls flat.
Right.
To me, in my
Well,
opinion.
cause like, my biggest thing, especially when cause like, my thing with the first song is I also thought, like, "Oh, great start."
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, "Your first song on the album should, like, start to set the tone."
And exactly, and I feel like the rest of the album didn't sound like
It
the
did
first
not.
song. And
Definitely.
that's not to say like Don Toliver's a bad artist. I don't like his
Yeah,
music
no,
at
of
all.
course not at
It's
all.
more of like just this album personally for me. Again, music subjective, art subjective. It just fell flat for me.
Yeah.
The only song that I'm obsessed with right now is the first one on the album, which is E85. But that's all I have for weekly hyperfixation.
Fantastic. Well, I guess that
That concludes our fifth
brings us
episode.
to the end,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much for watching the fifth episode of Rated R for
Yeah,
Relatives.
see you next one.